What is happening, people? That's right. It is No Hay Arquero, episode 7. Well, episode 7. I mean, look at us.
Crazy.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Episode 7. Of course, I'm your host, Guillermo, joined by Jordy and Vicente. How you guys doing? How you guys doing, Jordy?
It's hot, man. It's getting hot.
It is really hot, dude. I think we're in summer mode because we're all wearing shorts today. I noticed that when we got in here, I was like, okay, we're in shorts.
Yeah.
We're really into summer
No
mode.
jeans around here.
Yeah.
So,
My summer mode for me, it's shorts, Crocs, and a soccer jersey,
Mhm.
and that's it.
That's
I can do for summer. Like
yeah.
that's been the fashion since I was 10 years old. If I'm being honest.
It's a reliable outfit. You know?
But it's definitely very hot. It's the tragic summer heats of Houston, Texas for that,
Yeah.
and in general. But enough talk about the weather. I got a little question for you guys.
Okay, second question of the day.
This is the question of the day. Like I said last episode, new segment, just casual conversation at the beginning of the episode. Questions will or may not be anything to do with soccer. Like today, nothing to do with soccer.
I like
Are
that.
you guys ready?
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll go first again. Give you guys time to think.
Okay.
Give me y'all's top 3 movies. Movies, yes. Movies doesn't have to be Hollywood.
I can give you one off rip.
Oh.
Interstellar.
Oh, Interstellar.
Interstellar's my
I like
top
I've read.
Can it be like a saga, or it has to be like one particular movie?
I'll give you a saga. You can say like the Star Wars saga is
Okay,
like
okay.
one movie.
Cool.
Actually, nah, I take it back.
Okay.
No sagas.
Okay.
No
Okay.
sagas. Okay, well you went with Interstellar right off the
Interstellar
bat.
is one for sure.
Okay, well I'll go because I got my 3.
All right.
Thought
Okay.
about this. So, number 1, Signs.
Okay.
M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know if y'all seen that movie. Mel
I've
Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix. It's a sci-fi movie. It's about aliens. It's got a beautiful message. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
I've seen that movie over and over. I love that movie. Watch it if you haven't. So yeah, Signs by M. Night Shyamalan, popular director. And then number 2, I'm gonna go with Good Will Hunting. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
No.
It's Matt Damon. He's like a janitor, but he's like super smart. Not really like ambitious, but he's super smart. He solves a bunch of math stuff. It's just a really good feel-good movie.
Okay.
Robin Williams, Ben Affleck in that movie as well. So it's a good movie. And then the last movie on my list that I'm going to talk about is Matt Damon again, The Martian. I really like The Martian. Have you guys seen that movie?
The Martian I have.
Have you seen The Martian?
I've
I
heard
gotta
of it.
catch up
Oh,
on
dude,
these.
what is wrong with these people?
I
Anyways,
would say I'm not the type of movie person. No.
I mean that makes sense. Everybody's got like their different kinds of niches
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Mine is like kind of like sci-fi, but The Martian, beautiful story about solitude. Guy gets stranded in Mars, eats potatoes for years. Love it.
No. I'll go with my top 3. Like I said, I'm not a very movie person. Like I feel like ever since I was 4, I've been just watching soccer all my life, and I don't really have time to watch
That's
shows.
fair.
Or movies. I'll go with Toy Story.
Okay.
You guys are probably gonna clown me, but
No,
Toy
not Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Toy Story's good.
Yeah.
Toy Story. All.
Which
4.
one though?
There's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making the 5th. Yeah.
All
All 4 are good, but I'll go with the first one.
First
The
one.
very first one is my favorite.
Respect.
Yeah, my dog is named after Slinky Dog because he's a mini.
Okay, that's
So, yeah.
adorable.
Second, changing genres is The Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. I remember watching that as a kid and I didn't really understand much about it. And as I got older, I rewatched it. I finally understood everything about it.
I haven't seen The Godfather.
Dude, they're
I was
really
a
good
fan
movies.
of that.
The first and second are really good. The third one is not as good.
Interesting.
The first and second are really good. And for my third, I will go with an underrated Disney movie, The Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah, Meet the Robinsons. Okay, look, the way I said that wrong is
That's
because
the
in
that's
Spanish.
the movie that lives like on like top of the mountain, or am I thinking of a different movie? Here?
No, this is the
No.
one where it's like
The
in
Robinsons.
Spanish. It's Spanish. In Spanish, the way I said that wrong is because in Spanish it's called La Familia del Futuro,
Okay.
which
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
it's like a family that the kid like travels in time or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he meets his family, like he meets himself basically.
yeah.
It's really complicated to explain, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, blonde kid with like eyeglasses.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
know,
Spanky
and then
hair.
you know that's a weird plot twist because he ends up being the bad guy. It's a really good movie. I really like that.
that's and the music.
The music is really good. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a good
All
movie.
right.
That's a good
So
shout.
for me, I said Interstellar.
Interstellar. That's a great movie.
Great movie. And then I'm gonna go. Ooh, probably Avengers Endgame.
Ooh,
Avengers Endgame. was an
Endgame,
absolute
bro.
banger, It's
Yeah,
what a movie.
that's one of those movies where you remember exactly.
You remember exactly.
Did you guys go watch it the day it came out?
Yeah,
I went that weekend.
Yeah, I went with my team, with my soccer team. I was in, I think it was junior or sophomore year of high school, and I went with the whole team to the movies. And with even our coach, like our coach was a big like Avengers person,
Yeah.
and he pulled up with us. Like it was a great memories there.
Great movie. And then for my third, I'm gonna have to go with. Ooh, I probably have to go with Rush Hour. I don't know. I really like
Rush Hour. Okay,
I really
okay.
like Rush Hour.
I mean,
Rush Hour 2.
Is that with the guy who?
That's with Jackie Chan.
Jackie
yeah.
Chan.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was a different movie.
Yeah.
The guy from what is it called? The Breaking Bad dude.
Which one?
The
Walter White?
No, the Mr. Saul. Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a movie he made recently, but no, it's
Yeah.
not that one.
Oh, that was a banger. That's
Yeah.
a banger movie. The whole series is good, but if I had to pick one, Rush Hour 2.
I mean,
Okay.
no, that's good, and we got pretty diverse tastes.
Yeah,
it looks
Yeah,
like
we do.
didn't really overlap each other when it comes to genres or anything like that. But I mean, whoop, there you go. Vicente likes he likes his animated films. You know,
Yeah,
and I appreciate a good animated film.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the Puss in Boots movie.
I
Mhm.
did.
Like,
I did.
you know,
Incredible.
animated films,
Underrated as
man.
well. It didn't even come out like in theaters, I think, right? It was just like on like
I don't even remember
streaming
honestly.
platform.
But
I don't know, but I watched it on a streaming
Yeah, a
platform.
good animated movie
It was
doesn't
good.
hurt anybody. It's
Yeah.
always good.
Shrek
it's always
is
funny.
always
Shrek is
banger.
yeah, it's a banger. Always, all of them.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a topic of conversation. Movies kind of like fell off for a while, kind of starting to come back, in my opinion. So it's a good time, but an even better time this weekend, the Champions League
We're
final.
finally there. We're finally there after a
Finally.
long season of leagues and UEFA Champions League. We're finally there in the Champions League final. Who would have thought? Guess what? Real Madrid is there again. I mean, who would have thought? They're playing against the Dortmund side in Wembley that we did not expect much
Nah,
from them, especially since
nobody
they,
did.
yeah, since
Nobody
they
did.
came out of the death group. But they're here, they're ready. You know, last Marco Reus games, last Toni Kroos game. And what do you guys feel like is gonna happen? How are you guys approaching this final? Like, what are your thoughts of this?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a bit conflicted on who's gonna have more possession, because like I feel like both teams play very quick transition footy. You know, Dortmund with Sancho and Adeyemi, and then obviously you have Madrid with Vinny for the fast counter. So like I'm not sure what the approach is gonna be here for either teams, if they're gonna keep what they've been doing all season, and it's just gonna be a back and forth game, or if it's gonna be a lot slower. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm a bit confused here on what the match is going to be like, because it's a final. Like,
Yeah.
Teams can play how they want all season, but a final, it's completely different.
I feel like it's just gonna be a lot of Dortmund, in the first half, and then Madrid in the second half. I think that's what it's gonna come down to. I think if Dortmund can really capitalize on their chances in the beginning of the game, because they're gonna come out and they're gonna be ready. They're gonna be bloodthirsty. They're gonna want to go. They're gonna want to take that first step, because everybody knows that Real Madrid should not be taken lightly, especially not even just in the second half, but in the dying minutes of the game. So if you want to get that lead, you want to get that lead early. You want to make that gap wide. I feel like that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see attacking Dortmund's side, defending Real Madrid until like the late, like maybe like 60th minute. Real Madrid is really gonna start making their move, and it's just gonna be able to see if they can stop them at that point.
I do believe what I feel like I have to disagree with both of y'all. I think the game is each half is gonna be divided in two. I feel like it's gonna be very similar to, I don't know if you guys remember the first match between Bayern and Madrid in Germany,
Yeah.
where each team kind of
team
had
had their half.
possession. Yeah,
Yeah.
not even half, but each team had like its own half during each half. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
first
yeah.
half of the
yeah,
first
like
half,
first 20,
first 15.
25. Yeah, like they start sharing the ball, controlling the match. Each of them had chances. I do think that this Dortmund side, if they decide to press high in the very first minutes, they might get picked off, and they might ruin the final for them. Because if you concede in the very first minutes, and it's gonna be very difficult to come back from that. So I do feel like Dortmund is gonna be very cautious about whether we press high or not. I feel like they're gonna sit back for a lot, and when they have the ball, I mean, Madrid, Ancelotti already showed that he's comfortable without the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you play with a low block, and you know that you have Vini and Rodrigo to counterattack, but we'll see what happens. I do feel I'm still concerned about Courtois. I feel like it's official that he will
I think
start.
he'll start,
He's
yeah.
been playing the last La Liga games, and he will definitely start in Wembley. And I'm still concerned about that. I don't know. I feel like it can go either side, but you know, if he makes a mistake, it's gonna be definitely an Ancelotti.
Yeah, according to this online, website I use, there's the predicted lineups are Courtois on goal, Mendy, Rudiger, Militao, Carvajal, and then Valverde, Camavinga, Cruz, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinicius. Again, these are just predicted lineups. So we see obviously the Militaos of the world.
Yeah,
and Courtois.
I don't think Militao will start. I think they're gonna go with it. You know, they played the last Liga game against Betis the other day in Tony Kroos like farewell, and they played with Nacho, and I think Nacho has done enough this season to deserve a starting like a spot in the starting 11 for the Champions League final. I think it's gonna be Rudiger and Nacho. Tchouaméni is definitely out. He might not even play the Euros, but yeah, I think Camavinga, Kroos, Valverde will be enough to control the midfield.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that midfield, like talking about Cruz's final game and the transition period Madrid have had with these youngsters and how seamlessly it has been. We're losing all these players that it doesn't even feel like it.
Yeah, if we do a combined 11, we know that obviously Real Madrid will have much like spots in there. But who do you think from Dortmund could gain a spot in that combined 11?
I'm gonna go Hummels. Hummels for sure. I would
for Nacho
or Militao 100%. I would put him.
Yeah, for me, I'd say Sancho. I think Sancho can get in over like Rodrigo.
Okay. Yeah, Rodrigo hasn't had the best season.
I think Sancho could sneak in there.
Yeah, I feel like if I feel like it will also be one of the center backs, like either Slotterberg or Hummels could go in for Nacho, because Rudiger, I mean, no one can replace Rudiger. He's best. he's most likely the best center back in this year.
Yeah,
he's definitely.
I would say so.
And then in terms of goalkeepers, Kobel, he had a great semifinal against PSG, and it will be between him and Courtois. Obviously, on paper, everyone will take Courtois, but
I mean,
Courtois, he has been out for a while, so maybe you could put Kobel.
Yeah, he's been out. But I mean, what are y'all's like predictions for this match? Like, what do y'all think is actually going to happen? Because I mean, this is the greatest competition in the world. This is like the best of the best Champions League football. Real Madrid against Dortmund.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna be honest here. I don't think there will be any upsets. I think Madrid's gonna go in, take care of business, whether it's in 90 minutes or 120. We don't know, but I do think Madrid will come out with the win here. I just don't see Madrid losing a final, especially against Dortmund, who obviously we can't discredit, right? They're here for a reason. But let's just be real. Real Madrid is Real Madrid in these finals, under pressure, back against the wall. Even if Dortmund was 3-0 up at the end of the first half, the game is not over.
Yeah.
Because that's Real Madrid. That's just Real Madrid.
It's the craziest part.
I do think
It will be the first in Wembley. I was looking at that before.
That's crazy.
We were preparing this episode, and I found like Real Madrid has never won a final again in Wembley, and this is only their second match in Wembley. They've only played once against Tottenham in the group stage of 2017, the Champions League. And it was crazy, like such a classic and legendary stadium that Madrid has never won. So it will be. I think it will. That's what we're gonna see. That's a picture that we're gonna see at the end of the day.
Yeah. Dortmund has played two finals, one in 1997 against Juventus and lost in 2013 against Bayern at Wembley.
Yeah.
So they're going to be coming back.
Yeah, the 0-2 in Wembley will be crazy.
So they're definitely going to be coming back. For football's sake, for the podcast's sake, for absolutely everything that matters. I'm going Dortmund wins this final.
Okay.
I'm being delusional right now.
That's great.
I
want to be there with you. I would love to.
Marco Roy scoring a 35-yard screamer in the 92nd minute.
Movie ending.
That's what we want to see.
In recent history, when you think about Dortmund and Madrid playing against each other, they have played a total of 14 times. Dortmund has won 3, and Madrid has won 6 with 5 draws. But in recent history, you go back to 2012, 2013, when they played those like knockout games. I think it was the quarterfinals and semifinals.
Semifinal.
Yeah.
Level had the 4
Yeah,
goals.
exactly.
Yeah,
So Lewandowski ended up, only nowadays you don't have Lewandowski, you have Füllkrug, which is like a different picture. But I mean, Dortmund has been able to knock out Madrid. Obviously, 180 minutes rather than 90, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. However, I do feel like Madrid is going to be there.
That's the thing about the 90 minutes, man. Like, anything really can happen in those
for
90
sure.
minutes.
For sure.
We're going to be at that Pitch 25.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus watch party bar in Houston. We're going to be doing some content there. gonna be watching the game, gonna be cheering on the lads, I guess you can say. But it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, maybe we'll be on screen. Maybe we'll have direct
Yeah.
contact with Henry and bro.
It's my boy Dempsey gonna be pulling up. That'd be pretty cool.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. I don't know if I've told you guys this. I think I have. But one day, just scrolling on Instagram and stuff, and then like, oh, they're having a Madrid derby watch party. I'm like, oh, that's super dope. Diego Forlan is at the watch party, and it's just like, what? Like, wait,
That's crazy.
what do you mean?
Did you get to take a picture?
No, I didn't even like. I wasn't there. Like, I just saw
Oh,
on their
I thought you went.
I saw on their Instagram story like, oh, today is the Madrid derby, and then like the next post was
Forlan is crazy.
Diego Forlan just being there taking
Yeah, I would
pictures.
100% win.
I'm like, what?
Obviously, like it was like at the end of the day, like I hadn't gone, I hadn't seen, but it's so stuff like that could happen with
Yeah, I
us.
mean, hey, someone could be there. Only one way to find out.
Only
Show
one
up.
way to find out.
This will be a very decisive game. And before we wrap like this game up, I'll say that this could be the game where Vinicius becomes Balon Dor. Like if he has a great performance, this could
He
be
could
the
be number one.
Yeah, or as well as Bellingham. Like if they have a really good match, this is the game where they can say like, "Hey, the Balon d'Or is for me." So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see.
Okay, I wanted to bring up this topic.
Okay.
Speaking about the Balon d'Or, speaking about Madrid, Tony Cruz.
Ooh. Okay. Could be the first retired player to win it.
I mean,
It's possible, and I think it's possible because of the whole Luka Modric, incident.
Yeah.
in 2018.
I mean,
It's possible. It's
it-
definitely possible.
it's I don't know. I like to throw in the name Tony Cruz in there because I feel like it's low-key deserved. Like
He's been phenomenal.
he's been
Unreal.
he's been phenomenal, and like he's coming an end to his career again. Champions League with Madrid, like it's like clockwork to him. He just has such a big impact. But position that he plays, the way the Balon d'Or is nowadays, it's kind of hard to give it to somebody like him.
Yeah, I feel like for Toni Kroos, it also depends on the Euro Cup. Like I
Yeah.
feel like for Bellingham and Vinicius, it doesn't.
Mhm.
Like they could have a really good match in the final and they could still get it. For Toni Kroos, like I feel like even though he can have like a really good performance in the final against Dortmund, it will depend on what he does on the
Yeah.
Euro. If he wins the Euro with Germany, he has again like a great performance. Which I mean, those two things going hand in hand. Like I don't see Germany winning the Euro Cup without Toni Kroos like balling out. It could totally happen, and it will be the first time, like I said, where a retired player wins it, which will be crazy.
Yeah. So I mean that's just something that football would love to
Yeah.
see. But I mean,
And who would have thought, like, if that happens, Modric and Toni Kroos will retire with the Balon d'Oro, and Iniesta and Xavi wouldn't. So that's something that you have to, for Barca fans, it will be a hard one to digest, but that's something that you gotta throw out.
Yeah.
You gotta throw out in the argument, like, these guys are gonna retire if it does happen that way with the Balon d'Oro, and these other two guys didn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess the advantage of that Barca trio is that they play, international together as well. So
Yeah.
it's a debate. It's a very good debate that we can for sure touch on a future episode.
Yeah, we
Go
will.
more into detail on that.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys would like to have those kind of episodes where we
Yeah.
have a debate or whether
Throwback
this or
debates.
that, this team versus that team from specific years. So let us know if that's a content that you kind of like. But I have a surprise for you guys.
okay.
I've brought the official Real Madrid jersey for the Champions League final. You
Okay.
guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Let me show you guys.
guys. Homie has
Sure.
And it goes hand in hand with Liga MX.
Oh, dude. Okay, so for the ones listening on the podcast, not watching the video, explain to what you just whipped out right now.
Bro, this is a referee jersey that I got a few years ago.
U.S. soccer referee.
Yeah, dude. I'm missing the logo. I left it at
Yeah.
home. I forgot the patch or whatever. But I got it. I was refereeing some little kids like games.
That's
And-
free money. Too.
Yeah, I had a bad experience. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
Maybe I'll share that in another episode. But yeah, it was a pretty bad experience. But hey, I kept the jersey because I feel like it will be a nice Halloween costume. Like easy. You just throw that in there with
Easy,
some black shorts
That's
and
true.
that's it.
Does look indeed a lot like that America jersey. Bro.
Yeah.
The same color and everything, bro. Yeah.
I mean, yesterday you wouldn't have noticed which one it was because there was some controversial calls, and I want to go towards you, Guillermo. Tell me what did you see yesterday in that or a Sunday? It was Sunday.
Yeah.
Sorry, I still feel like today's a Monday.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day
Memorial Day
weekend.
Yesterday felt like a Sunday out.
Yeah.
Barbecuing and stuff.
But tell us what you saw. Tell us how you felt about watching, the final.
The game was relatively back and forth. I was watching it. Both sides they had their chances until it was like the 70th minute, if I'm not mistaken, 73rd, somewhere around there. And there is this controversial challenge in the box where Cruz Azul basically they get a challenge in the box, touch the ball, end up still getting caught, like still catching the player, falls, and then there is a penalty called. And then so the topic of conversation is the call itself. And I was telling Vicente before the show, I have seen this kind of penalty, this kind of call over and over again throughout not just Liga MX, many leagues throughout the seasons, etc. And it really is, who is getting that call? If it's America, getting that call, because it can really be called either way. He touched the ball, he does grab his player, he does catch the player, and he does go down.
But it's after he gets the ball.
Yes, and like that's what's going on with the rule book and the fouls and stuff like that. Like that's the kind of stuff that you can look at a VAR, depending on where you at, who's on the payroll, and which way the salary is going. Yeah. You can call it either way, and it was unfortunate for Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul has been having a great season. It would have been great for them to beat America, but now
would have been dope to see for Paco Villa.
Yeah,
but back to back for America. They did like 15.
Yeah.
But Cruz Azul, they had their chances. I mean, they had the headers. They had that opportunity in the box where the dude skied it. Yeah. Skied it over the bar, the crossbar, like completely in front of net as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, but Malagon is phenomenal.
Yeah. He saved one in the very, like, when it was already 1-0. Yeah. Like, he had that opportunity. I don't remember which Cruz Azul player it was, but he had an opportunity to tie things, and Malagon came up. And I have to ask you guys, especially you, Guillermo, since you're Mexican, like, you definitely feel comfortable with him as a Mexican goalkeeper. Like, that it's gonna be something for years, for over a decade, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the whole conversation about Mexico and like their goalkeepers, like that's like a whole conversation in itself. But Malagon is 27 years old. He has been the topic of conversation in Mexico for the goalkeeper spot. After Memo Ochoa, finally they don't call him up. We'll be talking about convocatorias in a future episode, but for now, Malagon is he's got an opportunity. He's got an opportunity to really finally get a true chance to becoming a goalkeeper for Mexico after showing his talent, after showing his resilience and his experience, in the country, in the league and stuff like that. So this is going to be a great opportunity for him and for the whole like Mexican lineup as well. Bringing in some fresh blood, some new ideas, new vision and stuff like that. And like I said earlier, Malagon has been talked about for it's been seasons now. It's been over a year that he's been the second choice, and people have been wanting him as selección. So it's good stuff, and it's good time for that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, did you see the Quiñones move to Saudi Arabia?
Everybody saw that. Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Because you're coming off back-to-back titles. You're not that old. He's only 27.
Yeah.
Maybe could have stayed. Maybe look for potential European move. Maybe not likely because age and stuff, but. I don't know. What do you guys think about him just going to Saudi Arabia?
I think it's a mistake because he has officially changed his nationality to Mexican, and he will be playing in the Copa America. Mm-hmm. That means he will most likely get called up for like Copa Oros and eventually the 2026 World Cup. Yeah. And I feel like Saudi Arabia could not potentially it's not going to erase you totally from the equation, but could potentially leave you out of the team. If you drop your level, if you get injury, like an injury or something like that, it will definitely erase you from the equation. If you're in Mexico, at least, like even if you get an injury or you're not doing as well, you're still present, in the
environment. And you're being closely monitored.
Exactly.
In the country.
Yeah, that's an important point. You are being closely monitored because there's been so many times where like Mexicans, they get sent out into like, minor leagues over there, overseas or whatever. And they're just kind of just forgotten about, not really called up, maybe called up like once or twice. And then they just never really give them the time of day again. I also think it's a mistake, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, you got to respect the bag at the end of the day, but I don't know, man. Saudi Arabia, 27 years old.
Yeah, and it's the World Cup is right around the corner. This is not the type of move that you want to do if
just coming home.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming home. Like the like it's gonna be played in Mexico. It's gonna be played in the U.S. You stay here for a little bit and then do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
27
it's a
years old.
rush.
Is
Yeah,
crazy.
you have a lot of
100%.
you have a lot to lose if you go to Saudi Arabia right now.
Yeah, but Liga MX in general, they got a lot to lose, man. They got a lot to lose if they lose in the final against Columbus.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You know?
okay. Okay.
That's been the topic of conversation. You know, Liga MX versus MLS teams in the CONCACAF Champions League. Columbus Crew knocking out Tigres, knocking out Rayados,
Mm-hmm.
and are now in the final against Pachuca.
We'll play it in Hidalgo Stadium on January 1st at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. It will be a great match. And I'm glad that you finally said this is Liga MX has a lot to lose, because I finally want to see Liga MX versus MLS. I don't want it to be just clubs. Like
Yeah.
I really hope that everyone within MLS like environment is hoping and rooting for Columbus, because they do deserve it to be like they deserve.
No, yeah, 100%. You know, best team. I mean, won last year, and then they've just been playing so good, man.
Yeah.
They've just been playing so good. Their manager is so good, and you know, getting to the CONCACAF Champions League final, it's so deserved. It's so deserved, as well as Pachuca. You know, Pachuca got knocked out pretty early, and it kind of sucked for them in the Liga. But they did a really good job for Conca, so it's good for them that they're in the final. And it's like you said, it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. Winner of this will go to the Club World Cup, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
because you get that CONCACAF spot automatically. So
Yeah. We
Yeah.
could be Columbus in the group stage with Bayern. or something.
yeah,
That would be great.
Columbus, Bayern in a group stage, that'd be crazy.
But I have to ask you guys something that's concerning. Pachuca hasn't played an official game in a couple weeks because the Liga MX ended early, and
Yeah.
Columbus obviously playing with MLS. That made rotations on because they don't want any injuries before the final. But like, are you guys concerned? Like, if you're a Pachuca fan, if you were a Pachuca fan, would you be concerned about not having like official performances and things like that just on training?
It's possible, but I think the advantage that they have here is that they're home. Obviously, I almost wish that this final was 2 legs. But yeah, Pachuca gets the host here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they haven't played in a few weeks, but I think they'll be fine. I think that
Okay.
this is a final. I think on the day they'll be ready. They'll come out with that intensity because it's a final and they know the importance of this game.
I think it's gonna I definitely do think that being out of rhythm is such a big thing. Like I do believe that, but at the same time, the MLS be having jam-packed schedules, and so the last time that Columbus played, okay, well, not they've actually had like over a week to like rest.
Okay.
So yeah, they're actually gonna be fine when it comes to this matchup. So it's gonna be on Pachuca. They're gonna be out of rhythm, and it's gonna be tough for them. But like we've been saying, it does feel like a Liga MX versus MLS.
Yeah.
Columbus has deserved it so much. The rivalries have been brewing and growing between both leagues and both fans and stuff like that. It's been growing for a while, and then finally it feels like it's worth something. How you were saying, Vicente, like it finally feels like this isn't just we're saying Liga MX versus MLS. No, it finally feels like it.
Yeah, and I do feel like even if you're out of shape, I feel like the home advantage with your fans, rooting for you, screaming against you if you're not doing things good, it's gonna push them. Like if I have like tight legs, I feel like if I have some 20, 30, 40,000 people just screaming their lungs out against me, like it's gonna push me to and force me to do better.
No, yeah, 100%. Cup final that happened this weekend. We got the FA Cup final. Which,
Okay.
bro, I'm gonna bring something up. We are horrible at predictions, bro.
I
We
realize
are
that.
horrible, bro. We've got 0 for 7 in this fucking podcast, bro. Straight up.
It almost feels like everything we say just goes like
Yeah.
the opposite.
I said United could win, but I wasn't convinced. Obviously, I was not convinced. But they get it done.
They
got
Get it
it
done.
done.
2-1.
What a great
Garnacho
way. Yeah.
and Mino getting on the score sheet. Impressive from the 2 youngsters. I mean,
Yeah.
United's future. We talk about it so much, and it showed. It showed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Kobe Mino and Garnacho joined Cristiano Ronaldo in the list of teenagers who have scored in the FA Cup final.
I did see that.
Yeah, he did that in 2004, I believe.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy, to be, especially for Garnacho, who we know is such a Ronaldo fan.
yeah.
It's crazy for him to be in that list. And we gotta talk about Ten Hag, man. Like, what's gonna happen? We don't know, but we do gotta say, like, shout out to him because he
Nah,
outplayed Pep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, United looks superior. And I mean, Ten Hag, if you're Ten Hag, I still think you go, honestly. I think that, you take your win here, you take your FA Cup, and you go somewhere else because I don't know, for him, it's a bridge that's
He
been
seemed
burned.
very like defensive with the media. I don't know if you guys saw like the
Yeah.
quotes and stuff, but he was like, that's what I do. I win titles and stuff like that. And like a lot of people were like, hold up, like
All right,
chill
dude.
out.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a way, he's right. But at the same time, like I don't think he's done enough to have that kind of like attitude with the media. I feel like he's having that attitude for a reason because he knows that there's still doubts about him in the club. And I mean, the players did show that they are like in favor of him. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of like them like transferring the
Yeah.
club from one another
Yeah.
so he could lift it. That just shows that the team wants him. And I like if you're a Man United fan, I really don't want to. The same thing as Chelsea, where your manager is sacked and the players want something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of Chelsea, they dropped down, right, to conference now that United win Europa. Or United are in Europa now since they won FA.
Yeah.
So Chelsea gets dropped down, which is crazy.
Yeah,
But,
it's
so Chelsea did all that work.
yeah, it's so unfair for Chelsea, but it is how the rules are made.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just gotta suck it up, honestly. Like,
Yeah, but for when it comes to Ten Hag, it's just it's real tough, man, because the coaching market is one thing into consideration that we have to take a look at, and then Ten Hag, we spoke about it before the podcast, Vicente, that if there is an alternative, like you really got to measure him against Ten Hag because like United, it's in a place like Jordy keeps saying, we talked about the youth of it, the process of it, and even the roof that it has. These players in the FA Cup final. So you want a manager that your players not only like want to play for, but want to like learn under and like has experience. And obviously, Ten Hag didn't have Premier League experience before. Now he does. So that's something else to consider. So I would personally say to give him one more season.
yeah, and it's important to compare the two managers or the possible managers like against Ten Hag, but you don't want to break that line between what a manager has done in the past versus what Ten Hag is dealing with currently.
Yeah.
Because it's like comparing like, and we'll get into Barcelona in a couple seconds, but like comparing Hansi Flick to Xavi, it's not fair because Flick has won like El Sextete. Like it's hard to compare that. And but you
But he also has way more
but
years
you
on
gotta
this.
be realistic,
Mhm.
and that's the important thing. Like you gotta be realistic, and you gotta choose the guy who you think is gonna improve the guys who you have right now, and who you think is gonna get the most out of these players.
I think that's definitely the most important part when it comes to like managers and stuff like that. It's just like the chemistry between the players, and if they fit each other's styles, because like transitioning into Barcelona, now Xabi is officially out, officially.
Poor guy, man.
Yeah, man, we gave a whole
Yeah, I
song
feel
in the
for
last
him.
episode.
Yeah.
But Flick is here.
Yeah.
Flick is set to sign or set to be presented tomorrow is what we were seeing on the internet. But going back to what you were saying, man, like Flick is a completely different coach than from Xabi is, and now we're gonna have a completely different Barcelona.
Yeah, he's set to his contract is set to be prepared for 2 years, which I think is good because you give him one full season, and then from there you start making decisions.
Mhm.
But what are some of y'all's like expectations instead of the market for Barcelona?
Oh, like in terms of like the transfer market?
Yeah, for transfer market, like who do you guys think Flick wants, and who will fit into the Barcelona team? Do you go like obviously we know that they're dealing with a financial crisis and they're coming out slightly from it, but who do you think is the type of players that Hansi Flick is looking for?
I think Hansi should probably be looking at a midfielder, maybe like a
Maybe a holding
potential-
midfielder?
Potential holding midfielder, yeah, because De Jong's not been great, obviously. I think he could look into that. There's no point in looking into a striker because Fermin's been great. You have Lewa, obviously. Maybe a winger. I don't know. Maybe like a Sane, possibly. Maybe something like that. I would say like a holding midfielder or a backup/winger that could earn a starting spot is what I would probably look into if I was Hansi.
Yeah, we do know his system. It's a 4-2-3-1. It's well established, and he's the type of managers that demands like high physicality and pressing, which increases the risk of you getting picked off.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a specific like issue considering Madrid is gonna sign Mbappe. Like those counter attacks are gonna be insane
Lethal.
with Vini and Rodrigo and now Mbappe. But for me, like I think they have to like the way you prepare a transfer market in the summer, especially when there's Euro Cup, you obviously look at much more talent and you digest all this data and you try to look for the best player that fits your your wallet. But it's very like they have to be cautious because they were preparing something with Xavi and now you have to erase all that and prepare from a like with Hansi Flick. He approved Guido Rodriguez signing, which will be a free agent from Betis.
Mhm.
He will sign for Barcelona. He's a holding midfielder, but it could potentially be something like Oriol Romeo, where he comes in, maybe has a great preseason, but then when you put him against the Real Madrid, the Inter Milan, the Bayern in Champions League, maybe he doesn't do enough.
Mhm.
So I would say that they do need like another holding midfielder.
Yeah, for sure.
Watching Guido, it actually goes to Barcelona be crazy because he was in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in America, but like that guy, like to me, in my eyes, that guy's a bum. I'm not even. I'm not even.
Explain that.
Okay, so okay, real quickly. So basically, this was 2019. This was America Rayados in the final, right? So this season, Guido is named best player of the tournament, best player of the year, best player in the midfield. He was really good, to be fair. And in that same match, in that final, our midfielder at the time, his name was Charlie Rodriguez. He is man marking Guido. And in the first match, Guido just walks all over Charlie, just completely shuts him out. And I'm like, damn, this guy's actually him. This guy's actually the real deal. Second match, Charlie completely learns everything about Guido. Charlie walks over Guido, makes Guido look like a little kid, bro. If Charlie's doing that in Barcelona, they're gonna be doing that to him all the time. Yeah. But going back to what you were saying earlier, I do think that Barcelona and Flick should be signing a fast striker. So let me explain myself. If we end up selling Victor Roque and he ends up leaving, because Lewandowski, like, don't get me wrong, he's Lewandowski, but he is not going to be the pressing type. Maybe Lewandowski comes in at the, I don't want to say like 60th, runs for like 30 minutes, maybe scores a clutch winner and stuff like that. But he's probably going to want somebody with more legs up top to apply that pressure, especially at the beginning, that he's going to, try to get those men in the box. So I think a fast striker and then like a fast defensive midfielder to just get in those transitions. Because if we're going to be getting counterattacked a lot, man, like who's going to be running back? Is Guido going to be running back catching out to Mbappe? Like we're going to have to rely on Araujo or Koundé or Garcia or whoever to run back, and that shouldn't be the last line.
Yeah.
We gotta be adaptive in the midfielder, and Romeo is not going to be able to catch up in those runs. So I think a fast like CDM would be good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but Xavi apparently is set to. He's demanding the 2.5 million euros that he paid out of his own pocket to become the Barcelona fan because he had. I mean, a Barcelona coach because he had that release clause in the club. I think he was in Qatar. So I mean, I think he deserves it. Like, especially because there are reports that apparently Hansi Flick is coming under a wage that's 30% less than Xavi, which is so crazy.
That's insane.
Like, there's so many reports that saying that it's his dream job. Like, he decides, and I was like, I'm so surprised about this. But it hyped me up. It hyped me up to be a fan. But there are certain things that we do got to consider. Lewandowski, the guy that Lewandowski that Hansi Flick coached a few years ago is not the same that you have now, and that's why you got to make certain moves. And it will be interesting to see what Deco and Laporta do.
It'll be a long summer.
Yeah, it's going to be a long summer that we'll definitely be following. Let us know what you guys think about FC Barcelona and what's ahead. But we do have more news about managers and transfer talks.
Yeah, just a lot of transfers in the summer already, man. It's been a couple weeks and it's been a couple days, it feels like. Yeah, we've already, Napoli, they're close to signing Conte as their manager.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's some
great
good
manager.
Yeah, that's some good stuff for Napoli after following the success of the year prior and then not having a great season this past season. Conte arrives, and honestly, it's a great pickup. Napoli has always been a good team to watch for me.
Yeah. Also, moving to the Prem, Chelsea has informed Kieran McKenna that he's no longer in the race, which is interesting. We reported that last week.
Yeah.
And now it's so Chelsea like I just
Yeah.
there's not a single club like Chelsea. Like in Chelsea, 1 week I feel like the only thing that can match that is Barcelona. Like it's just like 1 week you have something and the following week it's something opposite. But this week apparently they have given the green light to Enzo Maresca. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, like you've been saying, man, Chelsea. I saw this other thing like yesterday. It was like Chelsea have put Xavi on their list to take over the Chelsea project. I'm like, what's going on, bro?
Xavi is gonna spend a good year in Cancun, man. He's gonna spend a good time, resting. He deserves it after everything he spent under the Spanish media. He deserves a good year. But Chelsea, I mean, a 2-year deal. I feel like it's good, especially heading into 2026 World Cup.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. And with Chelsea, they have shown that they have made this long contract, like the one Enzo has, Caicedo has. It's important to, you don't want to give like really short contracts, but not give something that puts you against the wall if they don't succeed in the club.
Yeah, definitely. Maresca got that promotion.
Yeah.
Got that promotion with Leicester, finished top with 97 points, so by 1. He had quite a few losses, actually, 11 losses throughout the championship. And the championship is obviously very long. A lot of teams in the championship. But, I mean, he ended up getting that promotion, so it could be good for Chelsea.
Staying in England, Aston Villa announces that Unai Emery is set to extend his contract for 5 more years.
Good
So
for
2031. Yeah, and he deserves this project. I feel like he has been jumping from different teams throughout years, and he deserves like a good project. And I think in Villa is a place to go.
I'm glad Villa are giving him a spot, because Villa as well as Emery have both deserved something like this.
Yeah.
Champions League footy.
Now back to Italy. I mean, AC Milan. With Pulisic, they have found a new coach, Paulo Fonseca. 2.5 million net per season, valid until June 2026. I mean, I don't know. AC Milan, they have grown a lot. They made it to the Champions League semi-final last year, playing against Inter, but they get clapped. And then this season, they don't do enough. Maybe he could potentially like improve the players that he currently has, but it also depends on where Rafa Leao goes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. AC Milan is a weird club.
Yeah.
Serie A just trying to keep their level up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Juventus also getting Thiago Motta.
Yeah, he was such a great coach at Bologna. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I was watching this whole video on how they were reviewing his coaching tactics, and this guy, he changed the way you coach nowadays, because usually when you look at a soccer field, you look at it this way. This is a soccer field. But the way he coaches is he puts the field like that, and he divides the field into 3 lines, where he almost do like a 2-2-7 system, where even the striker, if he has to come inside the box to defend, he does that. Mm-hmm. And he has changed the way you coach, like really. And obviously he wasn't completely successful like in the big clubs, but in a club like Juventus with a couple of good signings, he could potentially bring this Juve team back where it belongs.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember years ago, like he was like in an interview. This was like right after he had retired, if I'm not mistaken. And then like he was talking about how like he had this new philosophy of football. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That he had this new philosophy of football where he basically had 7 midfielders.
Yeah, it's
like, and it's kind of crazy to think about. Like, he was talking about it then, and he's like, if the goalkeeper's got to get in there, the goalkeeper will get in there, and that's fine. And it's crazy that that's his philosophy nowadays, and he's executing it.
When you look at the analysis, you say like, this is so obvious, but at the same time, it's not, because how do you coach like grown men? This type of things, like, hey, as a striker, you're gonna play almost next to the center back in certain times of the games, and it's just crazy that he's been able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's gonna have a meeting with Rabiot's agent apparently within like the next week to see if he will extend his stay at Juventus or if he will look for a new club. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Interesting.
There's nothing
what kind of moves Motta makes with this Juve team.
There's nothing that I would love more to see than just a Calcio just having like a tight race between Inter, Juve, AC Milan. Like, it will improve not only Italy's national team, but also just soccer in general, like
Yeah.
European soccer
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, we're watching the Bundesliga slowly, like trying to take that turn. We got Leverkusen, we got Bayern, we got Dortmund in the final of the Champions League. So it would be really cool if like the rest of these leagues start popping off, man.
Yep. But I guess it is time for my favorite segment of the day.
okay.
Guess the footballer. So close out laptops. Obviously, we know Guillermo can, but we're legit. We don't make this one up.
Said you have a hard one this
Yeah, I have one. I have a very hard one this episode. What are you guys? 1-6 or
Is this guy trying to disrespect us?
Yeah. So, 1-6. He's going backwards here.
well 1-6?
Oh,
You guys
okay. I mean, yeah, sure. We're 6-1.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
As we'll ever be.
Okay. Once again, guess a footballer. A player. 5 other players who they have played with. Could be former club, current club, or national team. The baller that you guys are looking for has played with Sergio Busquets, current Inter Miami player.
Okay, yeah.
If you guys were not aware, I'm just giving you that tip to help you guys because this one is a
anybody. Like I said, it's the first player.
Anybody. All right. I'm going to say, okay. He can't be retired, right?
Yeah, he can't be retired.
Okay.
I'll say if you guys
That's a
get
good
one,
shout.
I will do next episode, no matter what the score is, with a Madrid jersey on. I'm willing to take that bet.
Wow.
And that will be the first time in my life where I will put a Madrid jersey
Okay.
on. And I'm not even capping.
Okay.
I'm so sure that you guys are not going to get
Okay, well then now we gotta start thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Cause Busquets. I mean, like the obvious choice is like Messi or something. I feel
Yeah.
like, but he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't triple bluff with the Madrid jersey and just like Messi's up there.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
Nah, he wouldn't.
So man, it could.
This
Busquets,
guy,
man. Like, okay, Coutinho.
It is not Coutinho. I'm very close. The ball that you guys are looking for has played with Busquets and Giroud. Olivier Giroud.
Giroud.
It will be fun to see what he does in LA.
LAFC.
I'm excited for that. He will play alongside his,
Olivier.
Okay, well, I
See, French.
is it. Nah. Do you have a guess?
I don't know.
Is it Cesc?
Cesc.
Yeah, Fabregas.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That's a good guess because he's playing at Monza. He's not fully retired yet, but it's not. Oh,
Yeah.
he's coaching at Monza. Yeah, he's. But hey, good guess. Good guess. The ball that you guys are looking for has played with Busquets, Giroud, and Harry Kane.
yes, Giroud and Harry Kane.
Giroud. Trying to think where's Giroud fit on this? Cause Giroud has been at Chelsea as well.
He's been at Chelsea.
He's obviously
Milan,
Arsenal, Milan.
national team.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Oh, remember
That's
they
super
can
tough.
ask me for the
For
full
one player's
career.
We're not gonna ask you for Busquets.
Busquets we don't need. Giroud we don't need.
And then you said what did you say? You said Busquets, Giroud,
And Harry Kane,
and Harry
Harry
Kane.
Kane.
Harry Kane.
Bayern
Bayern
striker,
Spurs.
who has officially won the
Oh my
Golden
God.
Boot
Okay.
this year. I mean, if it wasn't for that tough result against Madrid, he could have become a potentially Balon Dor nominee at least.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So we gotta think about like Spurs players that were like Spanish that also played in Arsenal, or like
Okay. Good luck with that.
or like.
Well, I don't think anyone's done that.
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
Remember, you guys have,
So-
between 3 or 4
I
minutes.
think he's got to be French. That played,
Barca, you're thinking?
yeah, like that played at Barca and
Okay.
At
Let's see.
Spurs?
French Barca players.
Longley.
Oh.
Let me think because obviously,
French, so yeah.
yeah, but
He has Spurs?
yeah, he's at Spurs right now.
Oh.
But like,
He was actually a Villa, I think.
he's
Or
at
is he-
Villa.
Yeah, let me check.
Am I thinking
Was
of
he
somebody else?
ever at Spurs?
I'm pretty sure he was at Spurs at one point, unless I'm mistaken. I was pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he's a current player for Villa,
He can play for Villa.
but he did play for.
For Spurs, I'm pretty sure he played for Spurs. So then, if he's a Villa player, I'm like I think that's a decent.
That's
guess.
a good guess.
You think so?
We can go with that.
Is it Longley?
I'm gonna have to wear a Madrid jersey. I'm out.
Let's freaking Nah, he's gotta wear the Madrid shirt next episode. That's for real. We're gonna make him wear it too.
He's actually wearing it.
Yeah, he better wear it.
He's actually wearing it.
That's like you could. Nah, you completely could.
Dude.
That's crazy.
I can't believe I'm gonna have to wear a Madrid jersey. I mean, does this count as a Madrid jersey?
No. Yeah, I actually have to wear it. I'm a Madrid jersey.
Dude.
Yeah, dude. The other players were Perisic and Tielemans. So-
Perisic would have helped
Yeah.
us there too.
I don't know why. I felt like you guys were gonna forget about Lenglet because it has been in Barca
It's been a while.
but he's been a while. He's been off the radar because Barca fans hate him
Yeah.
because he gets
I didn't
paid.
even know he was at Villa. I
Yeah.
thought he was.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you guys got it. And
Yeah, because
why did I say?
I knew they. I
Yeah,
knew
it
they
had to be a French player that played at Barca.
Spurs and at Barca, and I knew that long late.
I was thinking like Umtiti for a little bit, and then I was like, nah.
Titi. Oh, dude, that guy before he came to Barca was a baller.
Even in Barca, he was a boss for a couple years.
But that World Cup he had in 2018.
Yeah, but he had a tough choice. It was either you get a surgery.
He ruined himself.
Yeah,
actually.
you get a surgery that's gonna help your career in the long run, or you
Or
go
you
into
win
the
a
World
World
Cup, and he said
Worth it.
World Cup, and he ended up becoming champion. So
So it
Yeah.
paid off. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, it worked.
yeah,
But yeah,
that's it for us.
Thanks for tuning into the episode. Next week we're gonna be talking about obviously Champions League.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
have our reactions.
we're gonna go to that Paramount Plus thing, page 25. So
So
make sure to be tuning in to the future episodes as well.
yeah, as always, follow us on our socials. You can follow me on Twitter at JordyReyes34, Instagram JordyReyes9. I will get rid of the numbers one day.
GLR Broadcasting on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter.
Can't believe I'm
He's still in disbelief.
VGM091102 on Twitter, Vicente.gar.m on Instagram. I don't have TikTok as of now.
All right. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. And as always, take care. Take it easy. Enjoy the match this weekend. Have some good food. Hang out with family. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Peace.